everybody to today's daily breakdown. Hopefully you guys had a good profitable week, and now it's Monday. So with Monday, personally with me, I prefer to stay away from the market, especially because there's a bank holiday today on Monday in the US. So today I want to break down some pairs. We can start with the DXY, as it's the major currency that moves all the other markets. So first of all, looking at the DXY, again, we need to remain patient. We've already completed the liquidity level here. Never really failed to tap the third larger trend line on the daily, which was expected. We now have a break of this wedge pattern. However, we need to zoom in clearly and see what's happening. So we've broken the pattern to the downside, so we're expecting further continuation south. So the reason I've extracted this pattern that has just formed here is because price has now made an extension of that pattern. So what I mean by that is we now have a running channel. So this is the most relevant piece of information. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, this was a level that we forecasted. At this demand level, a stop hunt of this support has triggered, and now there's buyers. So what we're expecting is a short-term rally. If we connect this trend outer structure, what can we expect? I'll highlight this zone and I'll look for a level. So this is a previous level that hasn't really been tested yet. We can see that price failed to test it. It's a break and it's a failed retest. So this is a potential level somewhere up here. So this is an important zone for me. So if price could rally short term, take out these highs, go just a little bit higher to take out the stops, take out these stops as well, as you can see to the left, and then we can get a nice downtrend to the south target. So right now with the XY, you can already tell there's a bank holiday in America. There's no liquidity whatsoever. So it's best to just stay away. So this is the DXY. There's not much going on, so we just stay away. We let the market come to you. So you need to be very patient, especially on a Monday. The reason I say Monday is because when I've back tested thousands of hours, Mondays are usually my worst performing days. So what I've figured out is to filter out Mondays and not really trade it. So that's something that you can find out when you're back testing. You can find out when is the best time for you to trade or when it's not, and also when's the best time for you to trade, as in the time you entered. Is it the US session? Is it the London session? So this is some things that you can find out when back testing. So right now I'm expecting some sort of a rally up here and then a decline. So that's one scenario. The second scenario would be if we were to break this level of support with momentum. I need momentum and then a continuation. So that's the XY. I'm not really interested in a long unless there's something clearer. So the XY, just need to remain patient until we see further confirmation around a potential double top. So that's the XY. Next on the list is dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, if we just zoom out to the daily time frame, what can we see? We can see that price has broken this trend line and now it's more or less just about to retest it, as you can see. And this is a previous demand level which broke previous highs. So this is a level of interest for a potential rally. Now if we go to the Forex, let's remove this and focus on what is actually relevant. What's the relevant piece of price action? We've got a liquidity level that got triggered and it's now rallied. Now there's multiple levels that I'm potentially forecasting for a rally, but I need more confluences. Is there any confluences? I can see a potential third tap of the outer structure from this larger wedge that has formed. So if we can get a rally around this level, some further confirmation, then I'll be looking to get involved. However, you need to take into consideration that with the DXY, I'm expecting a short-term rally and then a decline. So instead of having a long-term target, I could buy this market to at least here, which would be in confluence with the DXY sell. So this is a potential buy scenario. that we could occur. If prices do break with momentum, take out these highs, then I'll be looking at a long-term position trade. If prices to breach all these levels and this demand level, then I'll be looking to get involved, but retest. But right now, as price is telling me there is a potential short-term trade that we could get if we just take out these lows, which we have already, and there's some levels here that I'm interested in on the 1 hour time frame for further confirmation. We do have some form of compression, which is what I like to see when price is approaching a point of interest. So because the DXY is looking bearish and I'm expecting a buy, what I'll rather be waiting for on the smaller time frames is some further confirmation, such as a rejection of the levels within the zone that we've marked out. Wait for a new higher low, break of structure. Once we get a break of structure, then I'm very interested for a long position to at least the outer structure of the pattern. So this is dollar CAD. The dollar CAD is looking really good for a buy. Next on the list is CAD yen. Okay, so CAD yen was a really good trade. This was a trade that we forecasted, and we came out at a demand level on a smaller time frame, which was in confluence with a wedge and the outer structure of this pattern and a fib. This is why my main take profit, although it was down here, I banked 80% of the position here since it was a conservative take profit. Now price has rallied and it's broken its structure. So what does that mean? So if we just delete all this, focus on the most relevant piece of price action. This is now irrelevant. This is broken, so that's irrelevant. It's all about tidying your charts. If we zoom out to the 4 hour time frame, we can now see a larger fib in play if we were to stretch it across. So we've got A, the first leg, B, the second leg, C, the third leg, and D, a potential 61 fib extension tap. Now, right now, is there any confluences here for me to sell it? Just the Fibonacci itself is not enough. So if we were to delete this and delete this, it's not enough. So if we do a parallel channel now, maybe we might see something different if we connect the outer structure to at least the outer structure, the parallel channel. Here we go. So we've got the support of this channel and the resistance of this channel. It's a pretty decent trade for a reversal, especially when it's just above the 61. So many traders will get involved here, whereas this outer structure channel would be a stop hunt confirmation. Then I'll be looking to get involved for the third tap of the channel. So this trade is looking pretty decent. Keeping it really simple. This piece of information and this structure now is irrelevant because it's broken. And this has now been filled. We don't need this anymore. So this is CAD yen. Keeping it really simple. I'm expecting some sort of a reversal again on the smaller time frame. I'll be looking at further confirmation, such as a double top of the outer structure, form some sort of equal highs, wait for some manipulation, take out the equal highs, and then look for a short. So that's CAD yen on the list, which is looking pretty interesting for now. It's looking pretty interesting. It's a little bit trending. We need further confirmation, such as this compression that you can see here. If we can capitalize on a compression like this, but on the flip side, then the trade will be looking much interesting. So this is CAD yen. Let's delete this. Next on the list is dollar yen. So with dollar yen, what can we see with dollar yen? Okay, we expected some sort of a reversal around this. It never really reached our outer structure. Now, there is a potential sell at this level, but I'm not really interested in this sell. Reason being is because we never took out these lows, so the trend is still pretty bullish. So unless we get further confirmation and a stop hunt of this level, take out these highs to a level I've marked out here, then we can look to get involved. But with dollar yen, there's nothing really clear. This we can now remove from our chart. Now update this trend line, and now you can see that price could potentially go even further to the upside. So if we get a stop hunt around here, or even a further stop hunt to tap the third tab of the trend line, then I'll be looking to get involved. But for now, I'm not really interested in a sell, unless the market now tells you a different message, and then we get a rejection of this zone over here, and then we could wait for some sort of a pattern. Then I'll be looking to get involved, such as a third tap of this trend line, like this. Then if I see this pattern in conjunction with a level that we've marked out here, then this is looking more interesting. But we need further confirmation. We need some sort of a pattern. Or even better is if we find this pattern just a little bit above here, we'll make it just a bit smaller just to give you guys an idea. If we find the same pattern, such as the one we just highlighted, the reason this is a higher probability trade is because if we get this pattern just above the previous high, then we know that this will be a higher probability trade if we get a stop hunt of this resistance level. So again, traders will be selling the double top only to get stopped out on a third tap of this outer structure mini reversal pattern. So if we find some levels on a smaller time frame just above that level, then this will be really interesting. Then I'll be looking to get involved in a short. So this will be a plan A if we get this sort of confirmation. Plan B would be the equivalent, but further up around these levels here. So the equivalent of this pattern, we just tied it up, potential double top stop hunt, and then a sell-off from the outer structure, or even the same scenario within the zone that we've marked out here. So we've got this scenario, and a further one in the middle. So this is dollar yen, keeping it really simple. Let the market come to you. We need more information, further data, but right now it's just trending bullish, so we stay away. So that's dollar yen. Next is gold. Again, gold, we've been forecasting a rally or a rejection within a zone that we've marked out here. We've now gathered that. Just zooming out to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price is trickling its way up towards the previous equal highs. That's in confluence with some zones that we've marked out here at a supply level. So zooming into the 1-hour time frame, we see the same thing on the flip side. We've got the equal lows on this head and shoulder pattern. They've now been triggered, and now price is likely to reverse and take out these equal highs over here. So right now we need further confirmation to get involved in some sort of a long. So we've got a break of structure, a new high. As you can see, we've broken structure. If you look to the left, we've got a high here, a previous lower high there, and a previous lower high there. This move to the upside from the demand level that we marked out here has now made a new high. So what's happening now is price is now forming a correction. Now, just because it's making lower lows and lower highs, it does not mean that the trend has reversed. It just means that price is forming a complex correction based on the original move, as long as it doesn't take out the original new low. So I'm sort of in some sort of a reaction within this zone. Then I'll be looking to get involved to new highs towards at least these levels here. So this is my analysis for gold. We need further confirmation here. As you can see, there's a pattern forming, so that's looking pretty good. A nice flag formation and a stop hunt of maybe even this low here. This would be the ideal scenario if we get an equal low double bottom such as this. Short-term rally, many traders will buy the double bottom, then I'll be looking to get involved on a stop hunt of that double bottom, find the level here on the smaller time frames, and then go long. So this is gold. So gold is looking really interesting. It could be ready soon. So that's gold. Next on the list is Euro USD. Euro USD, again, we had this trade here, which was last week's forecast, which was the break and retest of this flag. I personally missed this trade here. So in terms of structure, nothing really interested. I'm not interested in a long since it's just below some important levels. Unless price develops into something more clearer, such as a larger pattern that could potentially be in play. For example here. So now it's forming a potential larger flag. So we caught the first flag, which was around here. Now it's formed a larger flag, meaning there's a potential larger target. So if price has now rallied from this level, it's now formed a larger correction of a larger flag. So a rejection of this trend line / stop hunt on a level that we can find there on the smaller time frame could take us to new highs. We just cloned the leg of the first move, and this could be a potential rally on Euro USD. But again, we need to stay clear until there's something really, until the market is screaming at you, we can look to enter the positions. But right now there's nothing, trying to buy it here, it's just not worth it. Or even trying to sell it, it's not worth it as well, because there's no confirmation. Even if I see a double top here, I'm not interested, because I know there's a key double top level here and a zone here. I'd rather wait for a double top rejection above here. But right now I'm expecting a potential short-term decline where I'll be looking to buy Euro USD, which is in confluence with DXY. So next on the list is Euro JPY. This is a clear example, everyone, of not trading on a Friday or Sunday market open. So this trade literally happened in the morning. I've been trusting this trade for a very long time. A potential decline from a third tap of this trend line, a stop hunt of this high on the yellow with a level that I marked out here. Also, what was in confluence was a 1 tap, 2 tap, and a 3rd tap. So we had multiple confluences around here. Now, this is a key lesson why trading on this, for me personally, from what I've found out in market, in breakdowns, as in backtesting, I'm not interested in taking a trade on a Monday morning or Sunday evening, because this normally happens. So fortunately I never took it, as I stuck to my rules, since I've been burned many times in the past. So this saved me a whole 1 hour on this trade, simply by knowing that Sundays and Mondays for me personally, based on my backtesting, are really not successful. So I saved some profits here just by not taking it. Even though I forecasted it, I didn't take it. If, however, this setup came on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I will 100% take this trade. But in fact it didn't, so I never took it. So that's an example of Euro Yen. You zoom up to the outer structure. This is now irrelevant. This is irrelevant. We can delete this now. Go to the daily time frame. We can now see that price is potentially rallying towards the plan B. So this is plan B. Originally we had plan A, and now plan B is on the cards. So a rejection of this level here would be our plan B. Plan C, if price is to continue, then obviously we'll look for sales here. So again, we'll look for the same, some sort of a compression on the smaller time frame or a stop hunt to a decline to at least this level here where the previous main rally started from. I'll be looking for the same. If plan A fails to form, then I'll look for the same tight risk reward entry, just a little bit above. So this is euro yen. I'm keeping it really simple, just letting the market come to me. But for now, I'm just staying put. So it says nothing really interesting at the moment. This is going to take a few while. We need the market to form some sort of a distribution phase where market orders will be filling up here. Look for a stop point just above, and then I'll be looking to get involved. So euro JPY is a good short once we get further confirmation at the outer structure of the pattern. So that's euro yen. Next on the list is euro pound. This is a very good trade from last week. I stuck to the rules, I forecasted it, we saw a pattern and we saw compression. On the upside, we set the order up, and the target was the level that I managed to find on the lower time frames, just below the equal lows. Decent 9-hour trade. Could have been a lot lower, but I'm sticking to the rules. So now I'm expecting a strong reversal from either plan A, which would be a strong break of structure, retest, and a continuation to new highs. Plan B would be a rejection of the outer structure of this pattern, and then look for the same fraction on the other time frame. If price is now to disrespect this formation, then it's fine, because I'm also prepared for further confirmation on the smaller time frames. If it can just continue to go down, then we can get a rejection of a third type of this trend line, so 1 and then 3 around this level here, around this zone here. Then I'll be looking to get involved. So that's plan A, plan B, and plan C. Very important to forecast. That's euro pound, keeping it really simple. Next on the list is euro New Zealand. Again, we've got a nice flag formation, we've got further confirmation, we've got some momentum. We can see that this is now confirmed the second type of this structure. We've got momentum. In terms of getting involved, first of all, we need to pinpoint where our exits and entries are involved. So for example, we have a third tap of this trend line. So price is likely now to tap this level, which is in confluence with a level on the smaller time frames, and a third tap of this trend line, and the outer structure third tap of that trend line. So there's multiple confluences for an exit there. Also, if we dashi Fibonacci, we can see that this level is a very interesting level for taking profit or selling. So I'm expecting price to now rally and have some sort of a reaction from this level there. So that's looking pretty interesting. In terms of getting an entry, I'm personally waiting for the structure here to break. Wait for a smaller correction, small flag, wait for a stop on over the equal lows, and then a rally up here. So this is Euro New Zealand. Next on the list is GBP USD. First of all, let's look at the pound fundamentals. So again, with the fundamentals, this was a tough level to beat. By Friday, it actually managed to break above with some momentum. We've got the bulls making a bold statement. Also, this to me is telling me that the weekly bull run for the past 5 months has been so strong, it looks as if the pound may go past 1.4 and head towards 1.42. So this is telling me some information just to be cautious of trying to sell the market prematurely. So if we look at GBP USD, what can we see? Again, we did forecast a rally from this first flag at a target, which was here, and we've now gathered that. But I am conscious of a 1.4. If we now update this pattern, if we were to do this, you just do the parallel trend line, we can see that price is just a little bit above it. This piece of information is irrelevant now. So it's this, and this. So if we get some sort of further confirmation some strong momentum, wait for a pattern or a flag or a stop hunt of the flag, then I'll be looking to get involved for a short. So that's a potential scenario there on GBP USD. I'm also conscious that this could also be a setup here. If we just draw out the outer structure of the pattern. So this is a scenario plan B. If we don't get impulse back inside the pattern, then I'll be looking at further confirmation if we get some compression just a little bit above, which would be in confluence with a third tap of this outer structure. Then I'll be looking to get involved for this target, first target, and even lower to at least this level here. So this is GBP USD. Again, I need confirmation and I'm conscious about 1.4 based on the fundamentals. So unless price develops into a larger pattern and potentially, you know, it could just form a large double top, catch the stop hunt, then yes, I'll be looking to get involved at some sort of a short. But right now, these are my plan A and my plan B. I need strong momentum back inside the pattern, wait for a consolidation phase, wait for a stop hunt, vice versa. On this scenario, we would also now have some further compression, which is looking pretty decent. So if we can get compression, you know, just a little bit above, then this would be a higher probability trade. So I'm forecasting a potential plan A and then plan B. So this is GBP USD. Next on the list is Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie, keeping it really simple. So what's happening with Pound Aussie? We can see that price has broken this structure. As you can see, it's broken and now it's retested. Now, the reason I like this pattern is because the fact that it's retested, you know, you're going to expect traders to be selling this pattern here and having a stop loss just above here, right? With a target to, let's say, here. Okay, that's a good trade. However, market structure can tell you a lot about market psychology. So what I can see is that, okay, we've got a potential retest of this trend line. But if we update what's relevant, the relevant piece of price action is telling me a completely different ballgame. So this is telling me that price is likely to not only take these highs out, but at least tap a level around here or a zone. So instead of me trading a retest of this trendline retest, I'll rather get involved at a high probability area, which should be in confluence with a stop hunt of these traders where I can just catch the test of this outer structure, third tap and supply level. Then I'll be looking to get involved. So this is just an example of market psychology. This is why I normally update my patterns and look at the most relevant piece of price action. So GBP Aussie is looking really interesting. Again, I want to see some sort of compression. Wait, wrong one. Some sort of a compression. If not, either a third tap of a trend line, which is in confluence with a third tap of this trend line and supply level. If that doesn't occur, then it's fine. I'll just wait for a double top, catch the order just a little bit above, and then have a take profit 1 and a take profit 2, obviously further down to the main target. So this is Pound Aussie. And that's it. That's it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys are trading safely, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys. Bye.